Stingrays are my favorite animals.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, but you don't like the ocean. We're already rolling, so how you doing today, Maggie?
I'm good. Just chilling. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I know you're in LA today. It's really funny how we got connected to do this show. I don't know if Monty told you the whole story, but I was just getting my hair cut by the same hairdresser that your buddy Monty Riggs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because I'm friends with Jose Mangan, and I was looking at his social media that weekend and saw that you were out at the Louder Than Life Festival, and he had interviewed you, and I was like, well, who is this Maggie Lindemann? I start looking it up, and I start going through it, and later on that week, I'm getting my hair cut, just talking about some stuff with my hairdresser, and he says this guy Monty comes in and started working in the music industry with this girl who's got a new album out, blah, 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 and I was like, what was her name? And he says, I was like, oh, I just discovered this girl over the weekend. That's so weird. So I introduced myself to Monty. He says he can make this happen. So I'm really happy that you're here and on the Drinks with Johnny show today.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Small world. That's crazy.
Yeah, just right here in Huntington Beach, the place I'm at all the time, getting my hair did, And then I understand you got a pretty busy day today already in LA. Were you with, you had some Spotify stuff going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to shoot some stuff this morning, and then I had like a little short interview before this.
Oh, right on.
So not too bad, but yeah.
And this week, congratulations! I believe you just did your two first headlining gigs in Los Angeles and New York. I know that the ticket sales for both of those sold out within like a couple of days, couple hours, or whatever it was. It was really quick when you put those on a while back. How did it go? How did you feel doing your first couple headlining shows as an artist up there?
It was crazy. I mean, I've opened for like a couple people, and obviously doing your own shows a completely different experience that I just haven't experienced yet. So it was crazy, just like seeing the reaction from the crowd and seeing everyone singing lyrics to like, I just put this album out like a month ago. So for everyone to know all the lyrics to every song and for it to sell out so fast and everything, it was just kind of like, it was really surreal, cool experience.
Right. Yeah. And I know that you've played a lot of shows. As I mentioned, I saw that you were out there in Kentucky for the Louder Than Life Festival. A lot of my friends are out there on those shows, and I can't wait to get back out to those. But you also did Aftershock here. It's really interesting to me that you're on with these are a little bit more of like a hard rock kind of genres. And what I want to say before I even get into that is this: what a breath of fresh air it is for artists like yourself and some other new ones like Willow and some other people coming out that really are blurring the lines of genres and like just putting out music, which is so fucking awesome to me as someone who's been in it for so long. I'm like, why is anyone ever putting us in boxes? Like, just make the art that you want, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's all over. It's a great album. I've listened to Sucker Punch. You did it with John Feldman, legendary producer who's done so many things. You've actually had him here on the show. I know John pretty well. He's a really nice guy. Yeah. And how was it working with him for you? I mean, I know you've cited Avril Lavigne as a inspiration to you musically, and he just got done doing her last record a few months ago. So was there any correlation there, or just explain to me the process of making Sucker Punch with John Feldman?
Yeah, he's just really cool. He's just really talented and such a nice guy. And we had like a couple of sessions. So we did Cages, but we had a couple other songs too that just didn't make the album. But working with him is just really good vibes. Like he just has a really good energy, and he's just really talented, and he knows exactly how like everything should sound. And even like with lyrics, like he will like, just blurt out lyrics and stuff. And yeah, he's just cool. He's like really fun to work with, and he's just a nice guy. And yeah, he just did Avril's whole album, which is crazy. I love Avril.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's like one of my biggest inspirations. So it was just cool to be around him, and he's obviously a legend, and it was cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we'll get back to the music in a minute because I wanted to ask you some more just general conversational things. You know, I mean, I see that you have like this massive following on social media, and I was just really curious about that because, you know, I'm looking at it and I'm flipping through. First of all, let's actually start with a really fun story. I was going through your social media. I was looking at Instagram at Maggie Lindemann, and I got all the way back to November of last year, and you had posted some shows, or some photos rather, from a show you did at the House of Blues in Houston, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh, that's cool. That bass player has a bass that looks really familiar to me. And I start zooming in, and it's actually one of my signature basses that made by
Oh,
Schecter.
really?
And not only that, it's actually signed by me when I zoomed in even closer. So
Oh,
the
really?
bassist that you played with in Houston was using one of my signature basses that apparently he had gotten that I had signed.
That's crazy.
That was one of like when I was like looking you up, and from seeing you with Jose Mangan on the Louder Than Life festival, that was one of the things I was like, wait a minute. And then you're also wearing a I Love DILF shirts as well.
Yes, that was one of the. I liked wearing on that tour. I wore a lot of shirts with like stuff written on it, and that was definitely one of the fan favorites.
Well, I understand. So when are you still currently with that band that would have been a year ago? Is that who you're still playing with, or do you have a new band, or how does that working for you?
Yeah, so I have so they live in Ohio. So when I go on like tours and stuff, they tour with me.
Uh-huh.
But when I do stuff that's more like local or just some other shows that I've been doing recently, I've had my band that lives in LA with me. But yeah, I work with like them, and then we just kind of switch off depending on like, you know, where I am or just kind of like what the situation is.
Okay. Well, when you see that bassist again, let him know that I found it odd that he was playing with one that I had actually signed. Rather,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I
that's
want to know the
crazy.
story behind that too.
Yeah, no, I'll figure it out. That's crazy.
Yeah, we'll have to talk more about that. But I bring up that aspect. I did say that we were getting off the music for a second because of that social media aspect. I mean, you got 6 million followers. I understand that that's kind of where you were discovered. And then as I'm flipping through, I'm a huge NBA fan, and I see that you've got pictures with Jordan Clarkson. Are you guys dating? Is that what it is?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I'm a huge Lakers fan. That's who he
Okay.
played with for a while. Then moved to the Jazz, where he was it Jazz or Nuggets that he's on now? Jazz, right?
Jazz.
Yeah, and he won Sixth Man of the Year.
Mhm.
Season just started. How did you meet Jordan Clarkson?
Um, so I had seen him like in a picture on Instagram, like one of the like fashion pages I posted him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't like follow him or anything, but I'd seen him, and then I'd seen him at a party like a week or something later, and then followed him on Instagram, and then just been like together ever since, basically.
So you just met at a party, followed him on Instagram. See, this is the weird things. I'm looking at this other camera that goes to the audience. I don't understand that. I'm a little bit older than you. We won't say how much older, but I'm a little bit older than you. How do you like follow someone on Instagram and then you're dating them and been with them ever since? Like that's such a odd thing for me.
So I don't know. Well, okay, we didn't really like. I feel like it's always weird meeting someone online because a lot of the times, like I know with this generation, like a lot of the stuff is online.
Right.
So you know, you'll meet someone online, you guys will talk online, and then like maybe you'll meet up, like maybe not even, like maybe you'll see him out or something. But we actually like the day I followed him, we went and like we went out that same day. So like I didn't not went out like dated, like we like met that day.
Okay.
So I don't know, like the whole social media thing's kind of weird to me too because I like meeting people in person and I like face-to-face interactions because like anyone can have a good conversation like online.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, it's weird with social media, but it's cool because we have like this reach. It's like negative and a positive, but like there's just so many people online, and like we just have this reach now,
Right.
which is, yeah, like I said, a positive and a negative.
So that day that you started, I'm sorry, you said you started following him, you met up with him, or he started following you?
So I started following him first.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So now,
Mhm.
so you pursued him. Okay. Well.
Yeah. I guess so. I guess so.
So no, I'm curious about that, like how that works. Is like, how do you know you started following with someone that day? Because I mean, especially with both your guys' following being so big, it's not like you would have to
Right?
be looking at
Okay,
them
I
to
asked
know
him that.
to see that little blue thing that says follow back, which means they're following you, right?
No, I asked him that. I asked him that because I was like, how did, because he like followed me back like right away, and like it happened very quickly.
Right.
And I asked him like later on, I was like, how did you like see that? Like, how did you follow me back so fast? And he like showed me that there's actually like a tab on Instagram. I don't know if it's for only verified people or for like everyone, but there's actually like a little tab that you can click on, and it shows like verified users. So like, I guess like he had looked at the verified thing and like saw my name or something, but I never knew that. Like I didn't know that was like a tool on Instagram.
You just taught me something new, so thanks for that.
Yeah, you're
I don't
welcome.
know. Through Jordan Clarkson on that one too. Yeah, that's interesting. Were you so you said you just started following him because you saw him on some fashion stuff, right? That you
Yeah.
follow. Were you a fan of the NBA? Are you a fan of the NBA? Did you watch him play basketball at all, or did you just say this guy looks pretty awesome in these clothes right here? I'm going to start following him.
No, I watched. So I watched I always say this. I don't know. I watched like the finals or something 2 years ago, and then
Okay.
I have like that was my like, oh, basketball, and then like I never had watched basketball really before or after that. But no, I just saw a picture and I was like, oh, he looks good.
That's such a nice way to put it. He looks good. That was not how you thought of it in your head, to be honest.
It's like, oh, he looks nice.
He looks like a nice gentleman. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
let him court me.
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, I mean, now you guys have been dating, how long have you been dating now? A couple months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, a year?
Yeah, maybe like 4 months.
4 months, okay. And it's going well, obviously. You're talking
Yep.
about it, so it's not like
It's
it's
great.
a sore subject.
Yeah, no, everything's great.
Right on. And is he going? Are you guys going back and forth to Utah a lot then for games and stuff? Or if I'm watching
Yeah.
this season, and are you going to be courtside a lot
Gonna
for some
see
of these
me.
Utah Jazz games?
So I haven't gone to any of his games yet because season like just started.
Just
But
started.
yeah, I'll be there in a couple days, so that'll be my first game. So it should be cool. I'm excited.
Wow.
I don't even know the last time I went with him to the Philippines, but like an NBA game. Like I think the last time I went to one was I went to see like the Mavericks when I was in like elementary school. So
Right, because you're from Dallas.
mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dallas, obviously you grew up probably Mavericks, Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you actually
unfortunately.
like sports growing up, or like when I bring it up, you're kind of like laughing, like you were like,
Well,
it
it's
was
just funny
there.
because it's the Cowboys. But I actually used to love basketball. I played basketball in elementary school and like a little bit in middle school.
Okay.
I did like cheer, but my main thing was like track. I ran track. I ran cross country, so that was like my sport.
Okay. That's awesome. So okay, so maybe your family and stuff, are they a big Dallas sports family? Like, do you have you've got Cowboys jerseys hanging on the walls? You got Mavericks basketballs in the corner. What kind of let's paint the picture of this Dallas home you were growing up in here.
So Cowboys, like, yeah. My dad was always a big Cowboys fan. We love the Cowboys. Like, we watch every game. Mavericks, like, I don't really remember like my family watching a lot of basketball growing up. My family was more of like they liked watching like MMA fights and like that kind of stuff. So we would like have big, like gatherings and stuff, and we would watch MMA fighting. But yeah, we would like watch Cowboys. But my family was always really big on track. Like my dad did track, my mom did track, my brother did track. So we would always watch like I remember Allison Felix is like my mom's person. Like we would watch every race she ran, and we would always watch Olympics for track and stuff like that.
And what events did you run?
So I did the 800, the mile, the 4x4, and then I did cross country. So like 3 miles and 5 miles.
So more running, not sprinting, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not a sprinter. I'm not a sprinter. No. No.
Do you still run to stay in shape and to have fun, or are you kind of over it?
I'm kind of over it. Like, I feel like I ran for so long that I'm just so sick of running. But every now and then, like if I go to the gym, I'll be like, oh, I'll run a mile today, and I'll just like run a mile. But I do enjoy it. Like after the fact, like if I go run a mile, I feel so good after, and like I'm like, wow, I'm so ready for the day. But it's just like getting myself to get to that point is so much harder now.
Right. I can understand that. Like, I mean, that's the only reason why I work out at this point. When after you understand, when you get a little bit older, it's not like it's like really working out to stay in shape, unless you're an athlete. But like, for me, it's not really for that. Just to make my day feel better, make me feel better about what I'm about to do the rest of the day, right?
Yep.
But it's still a good thing, everyone at home. You can still do that. Let's go on to someone else that I saw that you've befriended and have a song with, Break Me, Sick Brain. How did she's also in the video for She Knows, right?
Yeah, She Knows It. Mm-hmm.
She Knows It, that's right. So how'd you guys meet, and how did you guys come together to do that song Break Me?
So she's just my best friend in real life. Like I just love working with her, because when you work with someone you're just that close to, I feel like we literally operate on like one brain. So when we write,
one sick brain, huh?
Yeah, one sick brain. So when we write, it's like it's just supernatural. Like when we did supernatural. But
wait, was that an accident? Because that actually
it was
worked
an
out pretty
accident.
well. That worked out pretty well. It is just about Halloween, so let's
yeah,
go with
right.
that. Yeah,
it was an accident. But like when we wrote Gaslight, we literally wrote that song in like 5 to 10 minutes. It was crazy. We wrote it so fast, and then we spent the rest of the time just recording it. And same for Break Me. Like we wrote it so quick. And I don't know, it's just cool to work with someone that you're just so close to. You guys just, I feel like, get each other, and like she knows what I want to say and what I wouldn't say, and like same for me, same with her. Like I know what she would say and what she wouldn't say. So writing with each other is just fun, and also performing together and being able to do a music video together is crazy. Also, she directed that music video.
Oh, she did? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know, it's just cool. Like it's just cool to have someone you're so close to be able to do that kind of stuff with.
And did you guys meet on your collaboration, or were you friends before this?
No, we were friends before. We actually met at one of our mutual friends. They had like a song release, I think it was, and it was like right before the pandemic.
Okay. And then you guys started working together after that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of the other things that I love about new artists that are coming out right now is that those collaborations with other artists that aren't necessarily in the same vein and stuff like that. And I think it just, again, it goes back to the point that it's all just music, right? Like it doesn't, and I love that. So, and it's a really cool thing. The video is great. I didn't know that she directed that video as well. And it is, the artistry in that is very cool. I was watching it earlier. And,
thank you.
But talking on the videos though, on Apple, I was watching, you have all your lyric videos. And this is very much tied into this generation of cell phones and social media and stuff. It looks like a longer TikTok video with texts going through it. What was the idea for that to come about?
So I just kept getting told I needed to do lyric videos and stuff, and I think that lyric videos with just like the lyrics on the screen are kind of corny. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to do something that just felt like my day. Like I was literally just going through my day. Like I'm waking up, I'm laying in bed, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm doing my hair, eating cereal, I'm on the roof, like texting on my phone, waiting for my friends, like waiting to meet up. They don't want to meet up. I'm like, going to a skate park, whatever. So I wanted it to feel like one really long video, but it's just cut up in each song. So like each video doesn't really have a exact like correlation with the song. It's just supposed to feel more like a journey throughout my day. And I don't know, I just wanted it to feel like super chill and laid back and just easy and fun.
Well, it definitely comes across that way. I did have a question. Did you get almond milk or Cheerios to pay for anything in those lyric videos? Because you did mention the cereal part.
I wish. We were thinking about that when we were making it. He was like, oh, wait, maybe don't put the Cheerios box in it. I was like, I know, I wish. That would be
cool. Well, maybe now. Now they'll come back.
I know.
Next video. Just make it all about Cheerios for whatever fucking reason.
The whole thing will just be yeah.
Well, no, I mean, obviously, you've grown up in that era with social media, and it's more prevalent for you probably than someone like myself. And that goes back to your massive following there. How did you acquire such a following? I mean, like 6 million on Instagram alone is a pretty big following. When did you see that just kind of blow up? I mean, I personally, as a layman, I don't understand how that happens. So, you know, like what was it that, because I mean, you had your first song, Pretty Girl, right? Was in like 2016. Yeah. And then you did the EP, and then now you got Sucker Punch out. So along this way, where does this massive social media following come from?
So, I've had an Instagram since like 2011. So I've been on Instagram for a really long time.
Instagram existed in 2011?
It actually was made in 2011.
Okay.
Crazy. But I had originally downloaded Instagram because I was really into photography when I was younger.
Okay.
And like when Instagram first started, it was for photography. Like everyone on Instagram was just posting photography. Like it wasn't a social thing at all.
Okay.
So I downloaded Instagram. I was posting like photography, and then I realized I was like starting to get like, it was like 100 followers, but I was like, oh, okay, like I'm getting followers. And that's when I like quickly started to realize like I could make it more of like a personal, like a blog, like a, you know, just like a blog, like a MySpace or whatever, like just something that I showed like who I am, and like people can follow me and like become my friend and stuff. So I'd been on Instagram for a minute, and then when I started coming out to LA for music in 2015, I think I had like 1 million followers at that point. And then when Pretty Girl happened and all the music started happening, that's when everything like kind of went up way more.
Wow. Okay. So, but you were already like at 1 million without releasing any music, which is
I was on. I mean, I'd already been on Instagram for like 4 years at that point, just trying to build. Like
I don't have 1 million followers. I think I've been on for almost 4 years.
I don't know. Also, okay, but also like back in the beginning, like I just would like, I didn't have friends in real life. Like I didn't really have like a life outside of like social media and like Instagram when I was in high school and middle school. So I was really focused on it because I was like, wait, I think I can like make something of myself, and like I can make friends and people actually like me on here. So let me utilize that and let me, you know, actually like put my energy into this thing. So I don't know. I kind of saw it as like I don't know. I was just like, I'm going to use this. And I also was posting singing videos and stuff like that. So I wasn't just like, you know, posting my face. I was like posting singing videos, and like, I really wanted to be an artist. Like I really, really wanted to make music. So I was just doing things online to help me get there. And I don't know, I guess people liked it.
Right. Well, I think it's very interesting. You just, one of the things you just mentioned there was that you didn't have a lot of friends in high school, middle school, and you went to social media, the internet, or at the time, as you described it, just like kind of a photo app. You know, I guess that's kind of why it has the camera still as part of its logo, which someone like me didn't really realize, you know. But that's interesting you say that. Why was that for you? High school, middle school, seems like was that by choice? Are you kind of more introverted naturally, or is that something that, you know, I don't know, you describe it for me.
Honestly, I don't know. It wasn't by choice. I think I was just trying to like fit in with the wrong people because I don't know, I wanted to be liked. Like I was a cheerleader. I ran track. Like I was doing things to fit in with like people. And I feel like I just didn't really fit in. I was really hyper as a kid, like really, really, really hyper. I would have to get put like in the corner during tests with like this little phone so I could talk to myself into it because I was literally so ADHD. Like when I would be reading tests, like I would have to read questions out loud to myself or else like I just couldn't process things. So I was always like a little weird. Like I had to do stuff like that. And I would be like really annoying and like loud and stuff. So I think like from a young age, I kind of set the tone for the rest of my school life. But I don't know. I just think I was just a little weird. So people didn't really like me. But then when I got on social media in 8th grade, it made it like way worse. That's when everything like people really didn't like me at that point. Because it's like even now I know a lot of people who are like on TikTok or whatever, and it's like when they started getting followers, people at their school stopped liking them. And I know for me growing up, a lot of the people like when I had first met to LA, same thing, like they started blowing up on whatever it was, and like everyone at their school started making fun of them, bullying them, whatever. So I don't know, I think just like a lot of people don't get it and a lot of people make fun of it, but I mean it got me where I'm at. So
I have so many questions now just to go a little bit deeper into that because first of all, let's go into the ADHD thing and the phone. I've never heard of the phone thing.
Oh, really?
No. So you had to describe that a little bit for me. Go into a little bit more detail. You're sitting there on a cell phone in the corner.
It wasn't a cell phone. It's literally just like a tube phone. So it would be like have like an opening and then it would be like that. So I would hold it and there would be like an opening right here and then an opening next to my mouth. So I could like whisper to myself and it would like go into my ear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Was it just a lack of being able to concentrate where you couldn't concentrate on your inner monologue? Like, I mean, a lot of people like myself when I talk to myself on a regular basis, I talk to myself all the time, but it's not usually out loud. It's all in my head, right? So is that just hard? Is it still a struggle rather for you to concentrate on the thoughts and processing that in your own brain?
I do. It's not as bad. Like when I was younger, I could not process things unless I spoke it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I also had this thing where like if I didn't say it out loud, it would like start to like eat at my brain and like it would like actually like make me start feeling like uncomfortable and sick if I didn't like speak it out loud.
Okay.
I don't know if that's like I think that's like some form or some like part of ADHD, but I like when I would read the things, like OCD. I would literally have to say it out loud.
It'd be like an OCD kind of thing of it too, right?
Yeah, like I don't think I have OCD. I've never been diagnosed with that, so I don't know. But
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like I would have to like read something, and then if I didn't say it out loud, like I just felt like I was going crazy. So it's not really like that now. Every now and then, like if I get a thought and I don't say it out loud, sometimes like my brain will be like, say it. But for the most part, like I'm not that bad with it anymore, and also like I'm not as hyper anymore at all. I've definitely chilled out as I've gotten older, but yeah, it was bad. It was just like I was just so all over the place. Like I could not concentrate at all.
Wow. I mean, that must have been tough to go through school that way. And you're saying this is in middle school you were doing this?
This was elementary school.
This is elementary school. Okay. Wow. That must have been tough. People who truly have HD and have things that like you just explained make a lot of sense to me. I mean, I don't know how it is now, but for years it was the big controversy was a lot of people are being prescribed with ADHD, and it wasn't the case. I mean, there's a lot of times it's just kids have high energy, especially at that age. It's hard to distinguish, I think. I don't know if you have something that you're describing that sounds a little bit more serious, but it's hard to, as an outside. I mean, I have a 5-year-old son now who's just a ball of energy. But I mean, I think that's normal, right? I mean, also you're describing yourself as a runner, athlete, cheerleader. I mean, you're supposed to have a ball of energy as a cheerleader. I think that's kind of the perfect thing, right?
Yeah. No, it was, I think at first, like when I was little, it was like, oh, she just has like energy. She's just, she's a little kid. But it definitely started when I got into school, like not being able to concentrate and getting really like distracted. Like that's one thing I struggle with really bad is getting distracted. Like if someone tells me go downstairs and grab that shirt, I'll go downstairs and grab everything but that shirt. It's like that's something I still struggle with really bad. But when I was younger, it was like really bad in school. Like I couldn't concentrate on like what I was supposed to do. They would be like, oh, do this assignment, and then I would get off and start like drawing pictures on the side of it. You know, it was like stuff like that. It's like
my wife does that too, and we just call it the squirrel because it'll be like, oh, squirrel. Like I gotta.
Yeah, that's what my mom used to call it too. Yep.
But I mean that is a very serious thing, and for the kids that at home that struggle with that too, I understand that could be a real bummer and something tough to go through. But I think your story, all your success, what you're doing in your life right now at the age of 24, very successful, and just found a way to overcome that and learn the way that you could. I think that's a good inspirational story for a lot of other kids out there.
Thank you.
I also want to go into what you touched upon there with once you started social media in 8th grade in 2011. That just made me do the math of how much older I am than you. It's interesting to me because now, flash forward, 10 plus years of social media and things like the Netflix documentary having the social dilemma and stuff, and kind of painting a picture of this. You say you were dealing with it in 2011, and there's people now that you talk to that are in school, and when they first pick up social media, they're the ones getting bullied. It seems a little weird to me that would be how it works, because isn't it such a common place for everybody to have social media? And if you're getting followers, isn't that kind of like for a lot of these people, isn't that kind of the gauge of like what makes you popular?
It's like you would think, but I think when you're young, I mean, in life, like people really just genuinely don't want to see other people like win, I think. Especially when you're that young. I think like, especially like I wasn't like the coolest, you know what I mean? So I think when people saw, oh, she's starting to have people like her, like why? Like she's weird, she's annoying, like she's this and this. So I don't know if it was a jealousy thing. I don't know if people just genuinely didn't get it. But I don't know. I think it's just like going against the norm, I guess, because you're expected to go to school, graduate, go to college, get a normal job, get married, have a family, do all these things. I think that's like the normal steps of life. So I think when someone starts to like go off that path a little bit and do something different, and it's like, well, I'm going to do social media, or I'm going to become a singer or an actor, or like whatever it is, and you're living in like a small town in Texas, I think people don't get it. And they think, oh, well, like good luck, So I don't know. It's like it could be a bunch of things, but I know for me, like when I started coming out to LA and I was like, I'm going to do music, a lot of people were like, well, good luck. Like it's never going to happen. Like 1 in a million, all that stuff. So I don't know.
Well, that part I can actually empathize with you on. I mean, at a young age when I decided I wanted to do music, and it was that all or nothing kind of thing. And a lot of other musicians I've talked to via being on the show or via just being on the road with a lot of people who have had some success in music. I think we've all heard that, right? Every single person has told you that, you better have a backup plan. You better have this. You better have that. And I think that, I mean, I do find merit in that now that I'm a little bit older and get to look back at that and look at the accomplishments I've had in music. And, I think if we're all a little bit honest with it, we're super lucky. Like, yes, we went for it and gave it our all, which is the first part, by the way. Everyone, you don't need a backup plan. You could make that one later. You got to go for it all in at first, and then you still got to get lucky after that, right? Yep. And exactly. I think that's the main thing, because I'm sure even with you, you've probably worked with or seen other people that you look at and go, wow, they're so talented, and I'm more popular for whatever reason. You don't really know why, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have
definitely.
anyone that like pops to your head when I say that? Like, is there someone that just popped to your head when I said that?
Yeah, there. I literally just saw this TikTok of this girl singing a Beyonce song,
Mm.
and I was like, it's just so crazy because there's so many insanely talented people out there who are like just no doubt like have insane voices,
Hmm.
who aren't famous and don't have songs out even. And I think it's like, I don't know, I think it's so crazy when I see videos like that on TikTok or on Instagram or whatever, because it's like there's just so many like really talented people out there. It's like, why am I where I'm at but they're, I don't know, it's like, it's just crazy. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like to think that it comes from that hard work, and you have to have,
Mm.
I don't know how else to describe it, but as they say, the it factor. And
Yeah, there's
that kind
so
of puts
much
it in
that
there.
goes into it, but yeah.
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 Well, either way, you've got it, and it's working out really great for you. Again, congratulations on the Sucker Punch album coming out. As I said, I was looking at it first, and I was like, 32 tracks. That's a lot of tracks. And then I realized there was all the lyric videos that we talked about a minute ago.
Oh yeah. No, 32 would be crazy.
So, as you said when you came out to LA to pursue music and stuff, did you have a lot of musical background from your family? I know we already touched upon the sports, the cheerleading. Was there also some singing, some guitar playing, some piano playing involved in there?
Yeah, so I took piano lessons when I was younger. And then my grandpa is like kind of just like a piano genius. Like he self-taught himself. He's insanely talented at piano. It's crazy. So he had like a electric piano. They had one at their house, and I would go and play it like every single time I would go. And I wanted to follow in his footsteps and teach myself how to play piano. So I did teach myself, but
Okay.
not well. But I taught myself like chords, and I taught myself a couple songs, and I was just like, I just loved piano. But I did like musical theater. I did plays. I was in theater in school. I was in choir in middle school. And at church. I don't know. I just always liked to sing. So any chance I got to sing, I would do it.
Mm.
And I also love to act. So I would do like theater and do musicals at like the local theater play place. And yeah, I don't know. I just loved it. I took like acting classes at this like place after school. Yeah, I just wanted to like perform. I just like being a
Yeah.
performer,
It's all entertainment. It's all performing. It's all in the same
Yeah.
world. I even equivocate sports the same way. I had a conversation with somebody, a sportscaster, and he was talking about it's like it's very much an art, and
Yeah.
it's entertainment. So it all falls under the same umbrella. I bring that up again just to. So are you saying are you going to pursue a career in acting as well? Do you see that coming up?
I hope so. I'm like I was telling you, have like focus problems. So when
So
it comes
acting would be
to,
your squirrel. It'd be squirrel.
yeah, literally, like I do take acting lessons. I would love to act. I've auditioned for a bunch of stuff. Like I would absolutely love to act. It's just one of those things for me. Like if I'm gonna do it, I really need to like hone into it and really practice it. And I think right now I have too much other stuff going on that I can't focus. But eventually, I would really, really love to like take a break from everything else and like really hone into that, because I do really like acting. I love the idea of being able to be someone else and like play a character and just like turn into someone else. I love Halloween, so
I was
I love
just
being
gonna
someone
ask.
else.
Halloween is a big celebration for me every year, even before I
Mhm.
had a kid. Now even more so, I guess.
Oh, I
But
bet, yeah.
Halloween is just the best. What are some of your favorite Halloween memories, even as a kid or as an adult now? I know for me, I have two separate, like not exact memories, but two separate ways of looking at Halloween, right? When I was a kid, it was about the candy and playing up. And then as you get older, it's about the parties and still the playing up part of it, but like coming up with creative costumes and going out and having drinks with friends at costume parties and stuff. What are some of your, I don't know, your most favorite costumes, I guess? What like that you've
Oh,
been able to come up with on your own?
Well, my favorite Halloween memories from childhood, I have like distinct memories of my mom's friends, or I guess my parents' friends. They had like two kids that were in the same grade as me, and their family would have Halloween parties like every year. They just always would go crazy for Halloween, and like I remember they would like the parents would like get drunk obviously and like whatever, and then the kids we would all just hang out until it was time to go trick-or-treating, and then we would go trick-or-treating. And I
Okay.
remember there was two houses. There was this one house that would always have a haunted house like in their garage.
Oh yeah.
So we would yeah, so we would like go get the candy and then like go into the haunted house. But when I was little, I was so scared of haunted houses. Like I would not go into these haunted houses, like terrified. So I would never go. And then one year I got the courage to go. I went in and I slipped on a bone in the haunted house.
Slipped on a bone?
I used like a fake bone in the haunted house. Like literally, I'm not even kidding. Like walked 1 foot into this haunted house, slipped on the bone and walked out. I was like, yep,
It's like a
I'm not doing
Scooby-Doo moment right there.
no, literally, I was like, I was like 11. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. Walk in, there's a bone on the ground. Like I didn't slip so hard I like fell on my face or anything, but I just
Yeah.
like slipped. And I remember that scared me so bad that I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not doing this. And I like walked out. So that was like a Halloween memory I like really remember because I was so hyped. I was like, I'm gonna do it. And then I was like, nope. But now I love haunted houses. Like I'm such a haunted house person. I love haunted houses. And yeah, obviously now it's like a completely different experience. I love to go to parties and like in my outfit, everyone's like, who are you? And I'm like, oh, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I love doing that. And like obviously we get to drink and just have fun and just like go crazy for the night. But I think I'm most proud of, I have like two. A couple years ago, I was Malaria from from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
I'm not
Which was
familiar
like
with that.
it's like a show I used to watch growing up. It was like there was this Grim Reaper in the show, and in one of the episodes, he like finds a girlfriend, and her name's Malaria, and she's like so cool. So I was her.
I
And
gotta
then
check that out because that sounds awesome.
No, you need to. It's honestly a really good show. It's really good.
Okay.
But it's like a cartoon.
Okay.
But then a couple years ago, I was Misa Amane from Death Note, and
Another one I'm not familiar with.
it's an anime. And
Oh, I'm not. I don't know enough about anime. I never got that bug to like watch all that stuff. I don't know. I know. I saw your jaw drop right there. I get it. It just
It's
hasn't
okay.
resonated with me yet.
It's all right. It's definitely like an acquired taste. I feel like not everyone likes it. Like if you do like it, you love it, and if you don't,
Yeah.
But that's a good one. I think like a lot of people that don't like anime do like Death Note because it's just cool. Like the concept is really cool. It's not too long.
Mm-hmm.
But this character Misa is so cool, and I got to like wear a blonde wig, and I felt really good that night. So that was like
awesome.
one of my.
Do you have your costume picked out already? You know what you're gonna go for this year?
I just got my wigs in today.
And
So
wait, can you tell me what it is?
No.
Ah.
You're gonna have to see. I'm like so crazy about Halloween. Like no one can know my costumes. Like it's a secret. Like I can't.
Okay. Well,
Halloween's
by the
like
time this episode comes out, everyone will have already seen it if you're posting on social media.
All right, fine. I'll tell you. You can't put this out before Halloween. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm being so there's this show called Growing Up Creepy.
Okay.
And it was like this creepy little goth kid show, and it like teaches you about bugs. Like her whole family's bugs, and it's like this cute little TV show, but it's like about bugs. But anyways, the little girl Creepy, she's so cute, and she has like this blue bob, but has like a pink ponytail and like a green ponytail, and like she has like different color hair. So I'm gonna be her, and then I'm like sewing the costume. I need to probably do that this weekend, but I'm gonna like make the costume, and I'm really excited about that one.
You're
And then
making it
me and
yourself.
Mhm.
Is that something that you've always done? I mean, a lot of other costumes, or just your clothes in general. I do know that one thing we are going to get into here in a minute is your Swizzix clothing line. But is that something on? Obviously, you're into fashion. You're into and you're making your own costume. Again, is that something that you've done in the past, or something you've always known how to sew? Something your mom taught you? I mean, where'd it come from?
So I love making clothes. Yeah, ever since I was pretty young, like I love clothes. I love making clothes. I don't make the whole costume. Like I bought like a dress and then I'm gonna like cut and sew it, and then I buy like pieces and then I just sew it. But I don't use like a sewing machine. I just like hand sew.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes me a little bit of time, but I will be doing that. In the past, I have DIY'd some of my costumes, like, but again, like I'm not making it from scratch. Like I'm not like completely like sewing a dress or whatever. Like I'm, cutting it up and like making it look like it needs to look.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, that's cool. And then we brought it up. Was I saying it right? I think you corrected me there.
Twix.
Squigs?
Twix, like Twix, but with S.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Squix.
Swix.
Swix. There's no K?
Twix. No.
I just
Swix. It's SWIXXZ. Swix.
Swix. That's right. The K's of the. Okay. I apologize.
Yeah.
Anyways, tell me a little bit about this clothing line. I know that you guys are in Zumiez with this. Looks like it's some really cool apparel that, quite frankly, looks like some stuff that you would be wearing anyway. So talk to me a little bit about that.
So at the time, my label had wanted me to put out merch, and I just like don't love the idea of merch because I hated that I would have to like wear something with just like my name on it or like my face or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I want to
wait. I gotta cut you out there. You never have to do that, by the way. I know.
But like,
I'm not wearing an Avenged Sevenfold shirt right now.
but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, I want to like wear something of my own, but it's like, I don't want to wear something with just like my name on it. Like, oh, people are going to think I'm weird if I'm just like, whoa, who's Maggie Lindemann? I'm like, oh, me, So I don't know. I was always just like, I don't want to just like wear something with my name on it. So I was like, I want to I want to make something that I would actually wear. And then people are like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, oh, that's my brand. Mm-hmm. So that's how Swix came about. Like, I just wanted a clothing line where it was like, if you're a fan of me, you can wear it. If you're not a fan of me, you can wear it. You have no idea who I am. It's like, you could just wear it. And then Zumiez was like, came into the picture. And Zumiez was my absolute favorite store growing up in the mall. Like, when I would go to the mall, I would go to like Hot Topic, Hollister, and Zumiez. Like, that was my place. Okay. So when they approached and they were like, we would love to like help you bring this brand to life, I was like, absolutely, like I would love to. And honestly, like the best, like I always talk about Zumiez and like everything I do, but seriously, the best, like how they seem and how like the brand seems, the store seems, is how they really are. Like, I go to all their events. I like have meetings with them literally like once every 2 weeks. They're the best. And yeah, I don't know. They just help me make the brand come to life. So I love Zumiez.
That's awesome. I've heard great things about that. One of my good friends, Darby Allen, has his hoodlum clothing line and skateboards in there. And he was asking me if there was any Zumiez here in Huntington, and I was like, I actually don't know. And then like I looked, and there is one in 5 Points, and then there's one at like a Costa Mesa Mall in Orange County. And
okay.
Yeah, so I didn't go to Zumiez as much when I was a kid, but I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed the mall though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just like that cool store. Like, I feel like a lot of stores growing up, like we had like Hot Topic, there's Spencer's, but like Zumiez was, yeah, Spencer's is true. But I don't know, Zumiez was like cool because it was a skateboard shop too. Mm-hmm. And like growing up, I always really wanted to skateboard. I didn't know how, but like I was really into skateboarding. And I was like, oh, cute boy skateboard. So I always would go into Zumiez. And like, I just love Zumiez. Also, I loved Tyler, the creator, and he had Odd Future in there. Diamond Supply, Obey, like all those cool brands that I saw like skaters wearing. I was like, I want to wear those brands. So I would always go into Zumiez and like, I don't know, just like try to be cool looking for those brands.
Well, I mean, so you said you tried to skate. Were you like not allowed to, or you just were worried you're going to break an arm and go to the cheer practice with a broken arm?
Yeah, I was allowed to. I was just really scared. Yeah, I was always like, because I feel like if you start skateboarding, you have to start when you're a little kid, because you like get past that fear of like, oh, I'm going to break an arm, because like kids have no fear. Mm-hmm. And then you're just like used to it once you get a little older. But like for me, I tried to start when I was in like 7th grade, maybe 8th grade. So I was already to the point where I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to break an arm. Like I'm scared. So I would try, but then I tried longboarding because longboarding started being a thing on Tumblr. So I was like, I want to get into longboarding.
Yeah.
But actually my first ever like sponsored thing I ever did, like the first time a brand sent me anything for free was actually Toy Machine, which is a skate company.
Mm-hmm.
So after I got that board, I was like, yep, I'm going to be a skater. And then I didn't.
Well, do you still skate recreationally at all, or like just or?
I tried over the pandemic. I was going to the skate park pretty often over the pandemic because there was like nothing else to do.
Right.
So I was going a lot. I learned how to do an ollie.
Solid.
So that was pretty cool. And that was about it. And then I did fall one point and I hurt myself a little bit and I was like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah. See, that's where I agree with you. I think I started trying to skate when I was like 5th or 6th grade, and it was literally like 2 days. I was going down a hill and I hit a rock and fell. It didn't even get hurt that bad. Didn't break anything, just skinned my knee.
But it's scary. It's scary.
It wasn't even so much that it scared me. It was like I hit and I was just kind of like, that hurt. I don't think I want to do that again. So then it took me until I was about 25 to start surfing. I was like, damn it, I should have been surfing the whole time, because when you fall in the water, it doesn't hurt as bad. You just have to be able to hold your breath.
Surfing's cool. Surfing's cool. I wish I could surf, but the ocean's my biggest fear, so I don't think I can do that.
Wait, you're afraid of the ocean?
So scared of the ocean, yeah.
Like what? Like what's in it, or the actual waves, or?
Both. I'm like you know when they show pictures of like the deep ocean?
Yeah.
And you're like, some people are like, oh, that looks fun. Like, that's so relaxing. Not me. That sends me like into a panic. Like seeing a picture of the ocean where you could just like see all the way down. Like that looks like a nightmare to me. And then, yeah, like when I was little, we were in, I think it was Destin, because we would go there on family vacation.
Where's Destin?
It's in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. So we would go there because our like cousin had like a timeshare or something. So we would go there like summers. And, one of the waves took me under and I swore I was going to die. Like I literally swore like that was the end. Like it took me under. I couldn't get up. My dad had to like pull me up. And I think that was like the start of it, but I'm just so scared of sharks. I don't even like fish. I don't want a fish to touch me. I don't even want seaweed to like touch my leg. Like I'm good.
Nothing about it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm sorry I smiled when you said you thought you were going to die in the water there, but like it's funny. I've grown up here on the beach my entire life, did junior lifeguards and stuff, so I'm very comfortable in the ocean, I guess, when it comes to this. It's one of those things that I guess I learned as a young kid. When you are held down, the best thing to do, if you think you're going to die, that's when you start panicking and really fuck yourself up. If you just relax, you're going to be just fine. And I know that's easier said than done, but that's like the whole mentality. Even when I'm out surfing, I get held down by a wave for a second. I often have to tell myself, "Oh yeah, just take deep. You can't take a deep breath under the water, but like just
relax.
Just like relax for a second. You start to float up because you can hold your breath for longer than you think you can."
Yeah, it's the panic. It's definitely the panic. I was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna die!" It's like the sand was getting all in my face. I'm like. It was just a mess. Like I was so scared, but I don't know. I used to love the ocean like when I was little, but it's the same thing with the fear. Like when you're little, like you don't really have fear. You don't think like, oh, a shark's going to come and eat me or like whatever.
Well, you're ignorant to what's out there in the world, I think.
Exactly.
You don't really know. You don't know what to be afraid of to begin with. You don't know what exists.
I didn't know. And then I saw Soul Surfer and I was like, wait, a shark's going to eat my arm? I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't want to do this.
I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, no. Yeah, I'm good on that.
I was going to invite you to go surfing sometime, but now I guess that's probably not going to happen. So,
thank you for the offer. The thing is, like, surfing is so cool. Like, I think when I see people surf, I'm like, whoa, that is like so cool. But then I think like, there could be a shark that's ready to bite me, and then I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Well, I wouldn't recommend Florida waters for that because that's usually where the bull sharks are and have more frequent attacks. But here in Huntington Beach, there's no coral. There's not a lot of stuff or spots for the bigger sharks or really anything to feed off of. It's all sand underneath. So even when there are great whites or anything out there, they just kind of go by. They're not around hunting because there's nothing for them to hunt. So if you ever do decide to get back in the water, Huntington would be a good spot because you don't have to
All
worry
right.
about. The only thing you got to worry about is stingrays, and all they do is just hurt. Like you'll be fine.
Okay, want to know something weird though?
Yeah.
Stingrays are my favorite animals.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, but you can't. But you don't like the ocean, and you don't even want
like
seaweed to touch you. Do you go?
But
to,
if I saw
have you
one
been to
in the wild ocean, I would be terrified for sure.
Yeah.
Like, because like you know what they did to Steve Irwin, so I would be so.
That was a
scared of them.
big stingray. That was not the kind I'm talking about.
I don't know, like they're scary, but like when I go to the aquarium, like I have to touch the stingrays. Like I think
Yeah.
they're so cute. Like their little faces underneath. Like I think they're so cool. They're soft. They're
They look
cool.
like they're smiling all the time under there.
I
don't they?
know they're so cute, and they're just like cool. Like I think like they're just like super interesting. But I would not want to be like in the open water with one.
No, I understand that. I don't like being in open water as a surfer. I got to shuffle my feet to go out because I've gotten
Yeah.
stung. It doesn't feel good. But
Yeah.
you know, you mentioned the aquariums though, real quick. I'm curious. Have you been to the Long Beach Aquarium? Then I mean, you're in the LA area. Oh, that's the best one. I had a membership there when my son was really young.
Oh, really?
We go there a few times a week. It's amazing. That's such a great
Really?
aquarium.
I know. I love the aquarium. Like, I think that's the thing is like, because I am like scared of the ocean, I love to go to the aquarium because it's like,
It's the
it's
only
not
way
gonna
you're
get-
going to see it.
yeah, exactly. Like, it's not going to get me. I love to like look at it. It's so pretty. But yeah, it's actually getting in there. And I like jellyfish too. Jellyfish are so cool. You know, I don't know if you were like went over the pandemic, but I went during the pandemic and they had like, you could like touch the jellyfish.
Yeah, I know. I did. Yeah, I did. There was in the outside little aquarium, right?
Yeah.
The outside over to the when you go
Yeah.
through, you go over to the right. Yeah. I was there during the pandemic. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I like touched them and stuff, and we were like spinning them. They don't have like brain, like they don't like think, so you could just like
Yeah.
spin them. They're just like, yeah, I like them. They're cool.
Yeah, no, and that is a really great aquarium, and I love those kind of aquariums. I think most of them are now, but that's one of the ones that I remember growing up with. It was, it's a rehabilitation aquarium, so they don't just. Like,
Oh,
keep
really?
them-
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they don't just keep the same fish or same sharks or same anything in there. They're rotating them out. In the back, they have like the big tanks where they come in, they bring in injured or dying species, and then they rehabilitate them, put them out so you can see them, and then then when they feel they're ready, if they get there, they release them back to the wild. So
Oh, I had no idea. That's crazy. That makes it way better.
yeah, no, it does. It's not a SeaWorld. It's not a little SeaWorld thing going
Oh
on
my
over
god,
there.
if I went to a SeaWorld, my mom's a huge like dolphin. Like she's always on the dolphin stuff. She's like, please post this thing about this dolphin. Like we need to save it. Like my mom's like huge on dolphins. So if I go to like a SeaWorld or like anywhere where they're holding like dolphins or whales or anything in captivity, like
Yeah.
oh my god, it would be off with my head. So,
It's
I
weird
don't
to
know.
do the dolphins thing too, because for me, when I go out surfing, literally every day there are just dolphins around in Huntington. Like they'll be literally pop up, not even 3 feet next to me, or like be surfing the same wave as you. Like dolphins are so cool. Like I agree with your mom. They're like so smart, so cool. Like you don't need to put them in captivity. They never fuck with people. Just go out there and go see a dolphin. It's not that big of a deal.
No, literally, dolphins are so. They're just. I don't know. I love dolphins. They're so sweet and cool, and I love dolphins.
Yeah. Well, I think we covered the ocean, your fear, maybe help you get over it a little bit there. One last thing that I wanted to get back into, we talked a little bit about movies and stuff, I understand you're really into true crime. You, in a previous interview, had mentioned that you would want to be in criminal science if you weren't in music. And you did say that you were just finished the Dahmer movie. I'm sorry, not movie. Netflix series. I've got like 3 episodes left on it, by the way, so no spoilers. But it is a great show. What is this attraction to all of that?
Well, I'm super interested just in psychology in general. I think like the way humans' brains work are like very, very interesting, and I feel like it's something I'm naturally really good at. Like I'm really good at noticing like patterns and noticing like certain things about people. Like I'm like when someone's like manipulating me or gaslighting me or like someone's using like a tactic on me, like I've always been like really quick to spot things, and like I'm really good at it.
Wait.
Randomly.
Before you go further, then, what have you noticed about me in this conversation? Then, is there anything that you picked up on in that world?
No, I mean like when someone's like, like in relationships, when like I get
Okay.
upset about something and then someone is like trying to gaslight me to make me feel crazy. Like I've always been really quick to recognize that.
Okay.
Um,
More in
and
a
be like,
relationship, not on like a okay, not like
but
a
like
a talk.
if I was talking to someone and they're giving me like a weird attitude or like they're doing like certain like mind things, like I've always been very quick to like realize when people are doing that. So
Right.
sometimes I've fallen for it, like when I was younger, but like for the most part, if someone starts like doing a certain thing to me, I'm like, I know what you're doing. Like, you're not gonna like trick me into making me feel crazy. Um, but I always also find that really interesting. Like when people are like, like talking to me and they're like doing stuff, like I'm always like analyzing it. I don't know. I just like love the human brain. I think it's so interesting. And criminals even more so. I think it's like really, really interesting to pick apart someone's brain and understand maybe why they would want to do something. And if they don't even know why, just like hearing them speak and being able to like dissect it and like go back further and like see maybe where something started or like whatever. I think that's just like really, really interesting. So yeah, I wanted to be a therapist basically for people in prison.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just thought that was like really interesting to just like hear people's, I know it's like really dark and like there would obviously be like really dark, sad parts of it, but I think it's like really interesting just to, work in a case and, go there and then them telling me about the case. And then I would go meet with the person and then try to get a better understanding for maybe why they would do it. Stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's so interesting.
It is very interesting. I mean, that is try to find out why they did it or just understand. I mean, that I agree with you. Like I think most of us do. That's why Dahmer the Netflix series
Yeah,
and other
exactly.
shows like that are out. What's something else that you're watching these days? I mean, we're in the we just talked about. We're in the Halloween season. American Horror Story just restarted. American Horror Story New York. I know I'm excited. I haven't watched the first episode yet. It's on my DVR. But is there something like that you're interested in or watching that I should check out?
So I just watched The Watcher. Sorry, by the way, I'm just grabbing my charger. But I
No,
just
that's
watched.
cool. I'm getting a nice little a tour
Yeah,
of
tour of
your
my
house.
place. Sorry, sorry. But I just finished The Watcher, which was really good. So I love The Watcher. I also am about to start American Horror Story too, but I'm waiting to get back to Utah to start that.
Oh, you want to be with your boyfriend before you get a little scared there? Is that what it is?
No, it's not. I just we like watching things together, so
Okay.
we'll definitely watch that together. I think if I started that without him, he'd be like. But yeah. So I'm gonna watch that, and then what else have I watched? I watched a lot of just like true crime on what's it called, on YouTube. There's this girl named Bailey Sarian, and I watch a lot of her videos because she like does her makeup while she's talking about true crime, which I like because I like makeup and I like true crime. So
Oh, that's the two things that you got there.
it's
So
perfect. It's perfect.
Well, I want to thank you again, Maggie, for being on the show. I'd like to stay in touch, and I think there's so much more we could go into and watch your career as it blossoms. Maybe some acting, as we talked about in the future sometime. Yes. But obviously, the new album Sucker Punch is out only for a month at this point, maybe 2 by the time this episode comes out. I don't know when it's coming out. But I'm looking forward to watching your career. What do you have next on the docket that you can talk about right now?
Nothing for the end of this year. I'm like done this year. But next year I'm going to go overseas, and I have like a couple festivals, like Slam Dunk Festival in the UK, which I'm really excited about because I've never done a festival in the UK. So I'm really excited to see like the turnout and everything. It seemed like people were really excited. So I have that, and then hopefully I'm going to do my own headlining tour.
Awesome. Hopefully. Well, awesome. I'll be looking out for that headlining tour. I'd love to catch one of your shows, and
yeah, definitely.
And tell your boy Jordan to take it easy on my Lakers this year, okay?
All right, I'll let him know.
Thanks a lot, Maggie. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk later.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's going to do it for this week's episode of Drinks with Johnny. That was my chat with Maggie Lindemann. Awesome to have her on the show and just teach me a little bit about what it is in this generation of growing up with social media. Obviously, we all have it in our lives. Some of you younger viewers at home have grown up with it, while guys like myself, or others like myself rather, have just been learning along the way. So it's really interesting to get that perspective and hear just a little bit about Maggie and her life, and really gracious to have her on here and a really great guest. So that's it for this week. Until next time, as always, cheers.